Alright, I'm going to be going in alphabetical order from all the comparisons I've made. So we're going to start off with, let's see. We're going to start off with Alo. Now, I compared Alo to Eric Ebron and TJ Watt as he plays tight end and rush. So on offense, he used to play center, but I don't know how to say this. His snaps weren't all that great. He did have our only touchdown in the playoffs, which he always brings up, but that doesn't matter. He caused a lot more bad than good on offense. Even in our current scrimmages, we have him line up at tight end, and he at least gave away 5 picks just tipped off of his hands. But on defense, it's a different story. Alo has a nice motor when he actually rushes and not drops back into coverage. And he could actually pull flags pretty consistently. So, yeah, that's it for Alo. And the reason I chose Eric Ebron is he's a very good blocking tight end, but when it comes to catching, he's not as consistent. He had a lot of drops last season. And on defense, TJ Watt is really fast off the line. He's almost a guaranteed tackle. He's crazy. He's a really good player. And Alo isn't as good, I know, but on defense, when Alo's on, he's on. All right, next up we got Brandon O'Connell. He plays wide receiver and cornerback, and I compared him to DeAndre Hopkins and Byron Jones. So on offense, he has the insane playmaking ability. He mostly goes deep a lot, just go routes, and most of the time he comes down with them if the ball can get there. Sometimes the ball's underthrown, gets picked, not his fault, and he still even tries to pull the flag when the ball is intercepted. But yeah, man, even on a short play, he could turn it into an easy 40 yards with his quick moves and agility, just like DeAndre Hopkins. And even a clutch play, freaking fourth quarter, final play, game on the line, he could come down with that ball in the touchdown. On defense, I compared him to Byron Jones. One reason is because Byron Jones is his favorite player ever since he was with the Cowboys. And even though he went to the Dolphins, he's still his favorite player. Byron Jones is a very good corner. He started as free safety, if I remember correctly, and he moved to corner, and I think he moved pretty smoothly. He's not the most physical, but Byron Jones will get a hand on you if he has to, and he could play the ball. And Brandon can do the exact same thing, except Brandon's a little more physical. And he could shadow someone throughout the whole game and probably pretty much lock him down. So, yeah, even on defense, Brandon's a beast. Brandon has I don't even know, like maybe 5-6 picks in our flag team. Okay. One of our new guys, Frank. I don't know why he came up. It should be Dylan. Oh, well. Frank is one of our new guys. No film on him, no nothing. But he does have a huge motor. He can run for hours and hours, and he won't stop. And I compared him to Jamal Adams, Blitz Boy, because, yes, Frank plays rush, and he gives our quarterbacks a lot of fits. Even our starting quarterback, Lewis, gets a little feisty from going against Frank because Frank's always there, right in his face. And Jamal Adams is probably one of the better tacklers in the league. He's always blitzing, and he's always causing fits for opposing quarterbacks. And that's why I gave him to Frank. Not much on Frank yet. Gotta see more. Frank's gonna get his first scrimmage soon, so looking forward to it. Alright, now Dylan. Okay, Dylan's another one of our new guys. Alright, listen. Dylan can be good when he wants to be good. He's not the greatest. He's not the worst, and he knows that. He plays tight end. He's just not very consistent with catching. He's a good blocker, but when it comes to catching, I remember a situation we were like 3rd and 3, and our quarterback threw him a simple out route, wide open, and he didn't come down with it. That was a heartbreaker because then We couldn't convert on the next play, and should have had that first, and we probably should have won that scrimmage. But yeah, not much to say on Dylan yet. I need to see more out of him. I hope he continues to improve. He has a lot of potential, but he needs to work a little harder. Don't take offense to this, Dylan. I'm just saying what I see. Alright, need I say more? Team captain, equipment manager, Drew, middle linebacker. When he's healthy, he plays almost completely just like Ray Lewis. He's so physical. He always finds a way to hit someone and not draw a flag. He laid some dude out going for the pick, and the ref just called it clean. He said he was going for the ball, and he was. And he got a pick to boot. Most of the time, though, Andrew's been out with injuries because he plays his heart out, and sometimes that's too much for him. Right now, he's recovering from one of those devastating injuries. We hope to get him back soon. And with our season starting up, we hope he could play at least a few games this season. Okay, so I'm really basing myself off of what everyone else tells me. And what I mostly get, I play receiver and corner. What I mostly get is I have sure hands, and I'm not the fastest, but I could, get the first down if I need to. And I completely agree. I'm not fast. I can turn it on when I can. But with Gronk, I feel like, Gronk has sure hands completely. And once he comes down with it, that's a guaranteed at least 3 or 4 yards, maybe even 6. 5 or 6, yeah. If you give me space, just like Gronk, I could make a move and be gone. I've seen it. I've done it. Gronk is a threat when allowed to be, and you don't want to allow him to be a threat, and neither do you want me to be a threat. If you give me enough space, I can make a man miss and go for the touchdown. Most of the time, though, I'm usually getting doubled, so it doesn't even matter. And on defense, Tyrann Mathieu, I don't know, man. I always find myself to be at the right place, right time type of thing. I always find myself right where the ball is. Just like Tyrann Mathieu, like in the Super Bowl. He was always around the ball. Alright, we got Jaden. Oh, boy. Okay. So, Jaden, don't take offense to this. I'm just going to tell you what I see and what everyone else sees. You're a solid player. You play center, receiver, and free safety. You're a backup receiver, starting center. Now, I think your transition in the center actually went more smoothly than most guys expected. I compared you to Alshon Jeffrey and Marcus Williams. So, Alshon, you have hands. You have decent hands, okay? But when it comes to crunch time, just like that Saints game, Eagles versus Saints, Alshon wide open, right through his hands, doesn't come down with it. That's the game. And you've had a little bit of those. I mean, yes, you had that amazing touchdown catch against the Lions, former A-Division team. And, you helped us win that game as well. But besides that, you've had a few touchdowns, yes. But I wouldn't compare you to, our better receivers like Brandon or Sanchez or Speedy. I'm not even comparing you to myself because I have my own reasons why. I think you could be better than me. But right now, that's just how it is. On defense, you're a little better. You've gotten way better since we've started. Marcus Williams, you rack up some picks, and yes, you do. You saved my ass when I caused a turnover in one of our first games. And you clutched back-to-back picks, which I love. You almost had a pick six. 2 pick sixes in one game. It's hilarious. Slow ass. And, but yeah, sometimes you undercut deep balls, which turn into touchdowns. Like, you're our last line of defense. So, maybe you could work on that a little more. You're getting better. Trust me, you're getting better. But right now, these are the comparisons I see you at. Okay, Jose, one of our new guys. He's very good. Stepped right into the role perfectly. We have him at quarterback every now and then, but if we have Lewis, we're probably gonna roll with him. But right now, plays tight end, wide receiver, a strong safety, or just safety. You could play both. I compared you to Odell Beckham Jr. and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Now, Odell is because you have big hands and you have almost guaranteed hands wherever you are, and you could even make dudes miss with your unsuspecting speed. No one suspects you to be fast because you're a big dude, but you are pretty fast. And on defense, every single scrimmage you've played with us, you've had at least 2 picks, and that's crazy. And whenever you see the ball, you fly to it, just like Minkah Fitzpatrick, and that dude's a playmaker as well. But yeah, we don't have film on you yet, but when we do, trust me, you'll probably be making a lot of the highlight tapes. And the man, the myth, the legend, Joshua Lewis, quarterback, middle linebacker, and his comparisons are Lamar Jackson and Luke Kuechly. Alright, now it would probably be fitting to compare you to Ray Lewis, but hear me out. But on offense, Lamar Jackson, yes, dude. I mean, we all know you could run, you're a beast, you make us all miss. That's a given. And you could even throw the ball. I mean, Lamar Jackson isn't that great at throwing as he is running, but he can still get it there. Probably better at throwing than Lamar Jackson. It's one. And you rack up touchdowns running and even playing quasi. But on defense, Luke Kuechly, he's always a playmaker. He was huge, just like you, and he always ended up getting so many picks, just like you. And he could be physical when he needed to, but I feel like Ray Lewis was more physical, less playing the ball, more trying to hit people, just like Andrew. And Andrew still ended up with some picks. But you, man, you just make plays on the ball like crazy. You end up with picks. I don't even know how you caught it. And I compared you to one of the greatest players I've seen play in the NFL, Luke Kuechly, man. Love you, Lou. Alright. Big logic, tight end. And I compared him to Travis Kelce. And he could block too. I was going to throw in a tackle. I would say maybe one of the better tackles, like Tyron Smith or Trent Williams or one of those dudes. He's a beast. Logic can block, and when it comes to catching the ball, he's also a guaranteed catch. And he has a swagger of Travis Kelce. He could always make at least 3 dudes miss on a little run and turn it into like 15, 20 yards. It's crazy. People don't suspect him to be as good as he is, and he proves us wrong every single time, and he's an insanely great blocker. Don't forget that. Alright. Another one of our new guys, Christian Rojas, running back, quarterback. He really plays receiver, but we probably won't throw him at receiver. Probably play rush. We'll see. But I have him listed as that for now. He played running back in high school. All right, Rojas was one of my friends back in high school, and he still is now. He came back into town and met him at a party, and we were talking about flag, and he ended up wanting to join. So here we are, and now he's probably elevated to a starting spot, honestly. I compared him to Chris Harris and Alvin Kamara. Chris Harris is because it's just a consistent corner, just like Rojas. Sometimes he gets beat, sometimes he could play the ball and get a pick. And he's a playmaker. On offense, he could make dudes miss, just like Alvin Kamara. Not really any fancy juke moves, just turning the corner and going. That's how Rojas is. He has a nice speed rating. And not much to say about Rojas. No film on him yet, so hopefully we can change that, Chris. This is not a new player. He's been on and off with us for personal reasons. But I have him here. Ruben, position cornerback. Sometimes he plays slot receiver. Right now I just have him at cornerback. And his equal is Trey White. I've always thought of Ruben as a Trey White equal, even before I decided to make this video. I don't know why. There's something about him. He's been a great man player. Yes, he gets beat every now and then. He gets mossed, but he's always contesting the catch, and that's what I love about him. On zone, he's a little inconsistent. Whenever we're playing zone, we can't really communicate well. I don't know why, and he ends up getting beat over the top because someone missed their assignment or something and he didn't know, or something like that. Things like that. But Trey White, consistent man player. He's a beast for the Bills, And okay, hear me out. Another one of our new guys, Chris Sanchez, positions cornerback and wide receiver. Now I only have him compared to Terry McLaurin and no cornerback because I haven't really seen him play corner that much. Whenever he does, he just plays off and no one throws to him anyways. But I compared him to Terry McLaurin because he's not the tallest dude, not the biggest dude, but he's probably one of the quickest dudes you'll ever see, just like Terry. And he's playing outside. He's like a slot playing outside. That's how good he is. He has consistent hands, can make the big catch in the end zone, can make dudes miss underneath. Insanely good route running. And with the right pass, he will come down with it. And he even played high school. He played in high school with Washington football team quarterback Steven Montez. So that's a little fun fact for you. We got 3 more. All right. Speedy, position wide receiver. So he only plays wide receiver. And I compared him to Tyreek Hill. His speed is almost outmatched. I mean, there's almost no match for his speed. He's crazy fast. He's like a one cut. Once he makes a cut and you miss, he's pretty much gone. The only problem I have with Speedy is sometimes he makes one too many cuts and he ends up slowing himself down and then someone ends up pulling his flag. But even then, he could make his hip movements. He's gotten better with that. He makes dudes miss like crazy. You'd be surprised how you miss his flag. Sometimes I miss it and I get really pissed with myself. But Speedy, keep doing you, man. You're getting better. It's fun to watch you. Always fun to watch you. Hear me out, Tony. Hear me out. Wide receiver, cornerback. And I compared him to Mike Williams and Josh Norman. No, he's not a starter on offense or defense. And nothing against him. We just have our best dudes out there. Okay? And whenever we need him, we throw him in and he does fine. He's just pretty inconsistent. I hate to say that, but he is. Whenever you get open, you're wide open and you can catch it. Sometimes you're wide open, you drop it, Tone. And you know, Jaden and everybody roast you for that. I never really roast you for that. Because, you know, I make mistakes too, but they're becoming pretty consistent where you drop passes in the end zone which should be caught. And then dudes end up thinking you're trash from the other teams that we play. And I don't want you to think about that. But when you're a corner, you're a little better. You pull flags, you know. You shadow pretty well. But when you get beat, sometimes it looks like you give up, but you probably don't. But sometimes it does. And, you know, Josh Norman really isn't one of the better ones. He's gotten better since he left Washington to go with the Bills. I think he's a little better. Just like you've gotten better over time. But right now, I wouldn't call you one of the best. You got room to improve. And you should sometimes listen to us, man. Sometimes we want to help you out and you think you got it. And you don't want to listen to us. But sometimes just hear us out and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. All right, Zedric. Quarterback. And I compared him to Tom Brady. Now, I'm being nice, Zed. I would... If everyone else could do this list, they'd probably compare you to Ben Roethlisberger. But I'm being nice because I know you love Brady, and I do too. And, okay, so I compared you to Tom Brady because you're not as mobile as Lewis. Doesn't seem like you're mobile at all sometimes. You can move in the pocket, yes, but when you need to make a move or like a juke, sometimes you just stand there and take the sack. Just like Brady. Now, they would probably say Big Ben because you're a statue back there sometimes. Dudes get frustrated with you taking the sack instead of just getting rid of the ball. But you have upside. You have a really good arm. You could bomb that shit really deep if you need to. But a lot of the time, you like the deep balls are usually overthrown, which is the downside, but when they get there, and I'll give you that. You make really good throws underneath sometimes. A lot of the time, or more often than not, the ball usually hits the dirt before it hits anyone's hands. Sometimes it's the route runner's fault. Sometimes you got to take the blame, bro. You usually throw me good passes. I'll give you that. But sometimes it's a little behind or a little too far down or up. But you got to keep working, man. You got to keep working. All right, and that was it. Oh shit. That was it. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna try to crank out more content. I hope I can. I haven't really had the drive, but I'm also finishing up community college, so that's always a good thing. Anyways, I hope you guys will subscribe. Look forward to more content. Sometimes of flag football, sometimes of different content. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.